Welcome back to another episode of How to Paint Like a Feminist. And if this is your first time joining us, we'd cordially like to invite you to pull up a chair and, heck, invite your trans kids too while you're at it. They're confused enough as it is, and we're only going to add to it. So let's transition on over. So I'm going to go ahead and have my handy-dandy producer run the colors across the bottom of the screen there for you. We're going to have Ukraine yellow, we're going to have abortion red, BLM black, and monkeypox green. Easy fact checkers. We haven't even said anything, and we're censored. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this Ukraine yellow, but we got to make sure before we actually start applying it, we put a nice thick coat of white privilege on there. And just so people know, before you actually start painting, an automatic skill level up is if you make sure you change your profile picture to a Ukrainian flag and hashtag I stand with Ukraine, even though realistically you're not doing dick all. But you feel better, because at heart, you're all a bunch of selfish narcissists that want to virtue signal on social media to show the world how good you are, when realistically, you don't give a shit. But here's a secret, neither do I. Well, hey, John, what about those Ukrainian kids that are getting hurt over there? Well, that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. Maybe they should worry about their own kids, kind of like we should be doing here in America right now with this whole formula shortage thing. Isn't that kind of beautiful, though? How Eric Swalwell out of California, who was banging Fang Fang, wants to sit there and talk about all these things that occurred under the Trump administration, and turns around and tells Biden, hey, good job for getting all this formula imported. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's like an arsonist setting a fire and then calling 911 and praising himself for calling 911 for setting the fire. You're the causation of all these issues. You're not the hero. You're just retarded. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and cover all this canvas. It's about $40 billion worth of paint here. I mean, because after all, we have an open southern border where we have fentanyl just pouring across and killing people age ranges between 18 and 45, but we're not going to talk about that either because Biden won't say anything in regards to that, because why would he? They take no accountability for this administration at all. But you got Kamala Harris up there talking about how we're going to work together, 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 work together. Shouldn't you be at a southern border somewhere f***ing that up too? I mean, my God, you have low expectations, but f*** me running. This administration, you're just, damn. I mean, seriously, damn. Let's keep going, damn. But hey, you know, we can't blame Democrats for everything. We have people like Madison Cawthorn sitting there talking about he's going to go dark MAGA on everybody that didn't support his re-election run after he lost his seat. Well, Madison, I got some news for you. I mean, you can take some pictures in lingerie on a cruise ship and be doing lines and stuff like that off a hooker's ass. That's the American dream. But I don't really think you can explain the idea of being butt naked in the bed humping another man and saying you're just joking. Madison, it's okay to come out of the closet. Progressives will support you for the most part, minus the Bible thumper evangelicals, but they've got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. They're gone soon enough, so just come on out and join the crew. It's okay. We'll support you no matter what. And you got Van Taylor out there being a diehard Republican with an ISIS bride getting his rim jobbed, and he has the audacity to sit there and talk about how he's representing the constituency. Well, until I see your office giving me a rim job, then I don't think you're really representing me accurately. But hey, good on you. You got it from an ISIS bride. I mean, I guess that's one way to fight terrorism, is to have an ISIS bride give your old stink eye a lookaroo. But you know what? I'll allow it. These logistical issues and supply issues, that's all Trump's fault, right? Even though you had Pete Buttigieg out there with his butt buddy pooping out twins, and yet he had to go on a 2-month hiatus. While the ports are going from 24-hour shifts to 8-hour shifts and really halting supply lines, and all the ships out there in the LA port just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. And what's Biden talking about instead? Oh, that's right. How we support transgenderism in our children. I got news for you. There's no such thing as trans kids. There's kids, and then there's kids that are being manipulated through woke parents that are trying to hoist them up as a badge of honor to showcase how woke they are. You should be prosecuted for basically, at heart, child abuse. You're twisted, you're going to hell, and I sincerely hope bad things happen to you. You deserve it. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. We can't talk bad about the trans community because they're so empowered, yet for some reason when they do feel attacked, they'll rush up on stage and attack a minority like Dave Chappelle in the name of equality. Oh, this is so beautiful. Trans community versus the black community. Who's gonna win? I got news. It's probably the black community. Because right now, all we've seen from the trans community is men that can't dominate in men's sports, instead go into women's categories, because essentially, you're just a little bitch. That's just a classic case of tuck and swim, tuck and run. Whatever. But oh yeah, we go back to the Ukraine issue, and the MSM goes out there, and Fox, it's no different than CNN, are talking about how we should stand with Ukraine, and Lindsey Graham, who rides more fences than the friggin' Black Crows that were in Dumbo. I mean, this guy just comes out there and he's back and forth. I mean, he's like Mitt Romney, John McCain, all rolled up into one. I don't know how this guy even still has a seat. They talk about how we have to support Ukraine and hashtag stand with Ukraine. Stand with them for what exactly? Or is it because back in 2014, the Obama administration helped facilitate a coup that installed a pro-Western government and then basically put Hunter Biden on the board of Burisma, and they were making so much money? It's just a money laundering operation, and nobody says a word because, hey, instead, let's focus on the big bad guys of Russia and no Crenshaw. I'm not a Putin apologist. I just don't believe in sending American men and women to go fight in a war that the EU and corrupted governments like the Obama administration helped facilitate. Instead, if you want to go over there and support Ukraine, and here's the beautiful part about it, you can. There's nothing stopping you from going to Poland or Romania, grabbing a rifle, and go to town. Oh, that's right. Hashtags won't save you anymore. If you support them, go fight with them. If you don't, shut the hell up. Sincerely, everybody in America. Of course, if you actually go out there and you look at what NATO's contributing to this versus what the US is contributing, well, you'll tend to find out that we're kind of involved in an abusive relationship. They get us into these proxy wars and we do all the heavy lifting. It's like an abusive relationship with, I don't know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, except this time the EU in our bed and we're paying for it. That doesn't make sense to me. But then again, I'm not an economist and I'm certainly not a biologist, so what the hell do I know about men and women or an economy? I just have a common sense, liberal arts degree, which doesn't even really make sense either because I'm not a liberal. Why? Well, I guess again, it's because I'm not retarded. Moving on. But we got that 40 billion that we're just either going to print more money of or we're going to borrow more from China. And, China's got our best interests at heart. I mean, if you're smoking crack, easy, Hunter Biden, stand down. I know that got you excited, but you know where I'm going. By the way, how the hell did his painting sell for $500,000 and mine go for like 500? That's some crackhead privilege if I've ever heard of it. Ugh. Oh, that's right. We got the woke military leaders out there saying that, Kiev is going to fall in 72 hours. And realistically, now they're saying that it's actually going to take a couple of years. But hey, it's okay. We just keep sending more taxpayer money and the rises in costs of gas and everything. And hey, not a big deal. We're paying our fair share to support this proxy war with Russia. But as long as the Russians are getting killed, we're okay. But what happens when China gets into a war or any other country that we're not allies gets into a war with? Are we responsible to go over there and play babysitter with our money? I don't think so. That's why I believe we should be more isolationist and not give a damn about these wars that half the time we help start. Oh, that's right. You don't know what political side I'm on now, do you? To be fair, I don't either. By the way, AOC, I saw she's getting married. That's going to disappoint a lot of Republicans that wanted to date her, but, I don't think realistically as they wanted to date her, they wanted to do something to her, but certainly wasn't date her. But hey, if they did try that, she would just be a mile and a half away from the actual protest and be hiding in a bathroom and claim that Ted Cruz tried to kill her. Little throwback. And January 6th wasn't an insurrection. I don't care who you are. All right, so we've got our Ukraine yellow, almost finished covering this full canvas. I guess realistically, I could charge $40 billion. Oh, real quick, just a question for all the tax people out there. Can I write off that $40 billion as a charitable contribution? No? Oh, okay, just checking. Look for that deduction on my tax form. Where is it at? Charity to wars that we help facilitate and start? Oh, that's right. All right, so next we're going to take some of this abortion red, and just saying the word abortion's got the liberals already triggered like crazy over there. I know nothing makes you more angry than not being able to kill your offspring, but hey, just bear with us for a little while. We're going to get through this together. I know you abortionists out there, how you think. You just probably really want to punch a baby in the face so bad. Out there protesting and screaming about how you just love abortions. Well, it's too bad you weren't one. I mean, maybe we should consider allowing abortions just for the Democratic Party, because if you think about it, they're murdering each other off, and then after a few generations, they're kind of gone. Is that a bad thing? Something to think about. The more you murder. So that whole Roe v. Wade thing that everybody's all pissed off about, it's like these people don't seem to understand how the government works. It kicks it back down to the states. And then, of course, you got these other congressmen saying, yeah, that's what we should do, to include all disputes. And Democrats picked up on the whole interracial marriage, and Eric Swalwell's out there gaslighting the world with this whole dooms and gloom. Like, well, now Republicans want to try and ban interracial marriage, and they want to strip away women's rights to vote. Where's he coming up with this? You're just gaslighting people to fuel the flames of anger and animosity versus focusing on actual issues. But if we're being realistic, women not voting, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I bet you're asking yourself, well, John, what are you painting right there? Is that a T for like maybe Tesla, like Elon Musk, who suddenly comes out and says he's going to probably start voting Republican, and then sure enough, the very next day, Elon sexually assaulted somebody, and Elon is magically a racist. Isn't that how it always works? If you leave the DNC, well then now you're just automatically a racist, even though he's probably the most wealthiest African American there ever was, or ever will be. You don't know what to say to that, do you? It's just kind of funny to me that Elon comes out and says he's not going to vote Democrat, and without missing a beat, suddenly people start accusing him of, sexual assault and all those things, and now apparently he's a racist. Welcome to the club, buddy. We've got cookies and Klan hoods. Oh, wait, no. That's the DNC. Forgot about that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add some of this BLM black in here. We're going to go ahead and turn this down, and speaking of the BLM and out there, doing all their protests and burning down all these buildings and stuff, and come to find out that they've basically spent millions through what? Oh, that's right, giving it to family members. What about those $1 million mansions in California? But man, there hasn't been a peep from the press really about freaking all the money that the BLM put into there. Well, at least not left-leaning press or people like Don Lemon. They're certainly not going to talk a lot about it, because why? Well, you duped a lot of crazy white liberals that were really guilty about being white into donating to your stupid campaign where you felt oppressed. You're not oppressed. You're just really good at scamming people out of money. Matter of fact, the organizers of the BLM, what was her name? The one that actually donated over like $2 to $3 million to her various family members, and they bought, $1 million mansions out in California for black content. Right. I'm sure there's a lot of inner city black kids that would really love to have scholarships paid for by those white guilt donated funds, but how do they say in abortion clinics? Oh, that's right. F those kids. So we're going to go ahead and go sideways, kind of like the whole BLM narrative is just on its ass right now. The liberals are never going to admit when they're wrong, kind of like the whole, Biden administration. Have you noticed? They haven't taken accountability for one single thing. Inflated gas prices? Well, that must have been Trump's fault. Suffering economy? Well, that must have been Trump's fault. But we have record low unemployment. Well, wait a minute. How do you have record low unemployment when jobs are coming back that you originally helped destroy? That's like Tess Holliday losing the weight and then gaining it right back. Do you really get to say that you kept the weight off? No, you're still a fat ass. Oh, and apparently now she has anorexia. Your mouth's saying one thing, but the 20 unauthorized chins you've got, they say something else completely. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to monkeypox screen here, because what have we already been through? COVID, Omicron, Autobahn, Slitterbahn, Autobot. I don't know what we're on right now, but apparently now there's monkeypox. And the UK is already coming out there and saying, hey, don't be homophobic or bigoted when talking about monkeypox. It comes from monkeys. But I'm trying to follow you here, but it's almost as if you want the world to be racist because it gives something for you to fight for. Because realistically, you have nothing. Because you're bored, lonely people that really need a life, and you've got it so good. But hey, whatever blows your dress up, or pants up, depending on what you're hiding between your legs. Oh, that's right. Isn't it Democrats now that are calling for children to have underwear that they can actually tuck their penises away and pretend to be girls? That's right. You're so twisted that even God's like, holy crap, I didn't create you. This has to be something from the devil. And the devil's sitting there going, nope, ain't me. This is a whole nother thing. You guys are too twisted. So in reality, both forces of good and evil are looking at you like you're just, you're something special. You're just, I don't even know how to describe you. It's not even funny at this point. You are scum of the earth. You really are. And that's why we're never going to be on Fox. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fill this in right here. And it's got that little mixture of the black and green there. There we go. Looks nice and beautiful. It's going to cover in those corners there. And hey, if you haven't done so, make sure you check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you hear podcasts for the All-American Savage Show. We hear yours truly light in on these left and right policies. And we try and take somewhat of an unbiased perspective, but holy crap, you liberals, you just give us so much content. It's just too easy to go after you. You can check me out there and on Instagram at JohnBurke11B. So we're going to keep going here. Boom. Oh, it's green. Oh, look at that. Nice green colors. We got the monkeypox screen getting spread all over the place, and now they're threatening more lockdowns. And then come to find out, Bill Gates, Mr. Viral Expert himself, who basically couldn't even stop Windows from getting viruses, wants to weigh in on the fact that, we didn't really know that COVID was only really affecting elderly people. Oh, yes, we did. You just didn't want to debate the facts because you censored anybody on social media that disagreed with your narrative. And come to find out, what's this? You were wrong. And how many lives were destroyed in the process of you sending the world into a panic because of a COVID-19 issue that the US government had a gain-of-function $600,000 research fund given to Wuhan. They admitted it, and Fauci is still not behind bars. You explain that one to me. You can't. But hey, now we got the monkeypox, and I guess the only question I have to ask you, well, not just America, but to the entire world, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to run? Are you going to hide? Are you going to submit? Are you going to wear a mask? Are you going to wear a full bodysuit? You're going to close your business? You're going to ruin your life? All because the government, the CDC, and the FDA got it all wrong? Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to baa like good little sheep. That's all we're going to do. Except me. I'm going to keep painting maskless. Here we go. And I bet you're asking yourself, John, what's the painting supposed to be of? Well, it's a very good question. Here's your answer. What are they aiming for? Money. That's what it's all about. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, everything. Money. All right, so we're going to go ahead and reach into our pockets where apparently we have all this money that we got to be given to the Ukraine and liberals and all these government subsidy programs because, hey, God help us if you just don't want to work, we'll pay for it because that's the socialist dream. I don't, whatever, let's just do this. Oh, looky there. Someone you can't control and you can't cancel. He's going to take over Twitter, and he says he's going to push for free speech. And what does that do? That sends the liberals screaming because you don't like the idea of having your safe space taken away. And now you got to go toe-to-toe with people and defend your ideas because you can't, because you know you're full of shit. And now the balance of power has been tipped, and you're scared shitless. So what do we do in response? Oh, we set up a disinformation board at the White House, which within 3 weeks falls flat on its ass because even Democrats were calling out the Biden administration for being fascists. It's almost as if the very same things they accuse everybody else of being, they actually are. Fascists, authoritarians, racists, bigots, and intolerant assholes. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like below and leave a comment. I'm probably not going to read it, but it helps the algorithms to get more people to get eyes on this. That's right, trigger a liberal near you. Hit that share button below. If you'd like to buy this painting, make sure you tune into the allamericansavageshow.com website, and we give you instructions on how to do that. And make sure you check out our show sponsor, shellshockcbd.com. You can find a variety of affordable, actually good CBD oil, Delta 8, Delta 9, Rack Out Sleepy Time gummies with CBD and melatonin that are THC free. Just a lot of great products to help improve your quality of life that Big Pharma ain't gonna get a cut of. So until next time, we'll see ya.